Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Homework Help. My name is Crystal Cabre, and we are outside today in the beautiful sunshine, ready to talk about world building, which is like one of my favorite things ever. So I'm going to start sharing my screen so we can get started. As usual, do not worry about the background noise. This is I don't know what that was. This is a chill space. It is peer-to-peer conversation. For those of you that are new here, we talk about the highlights of things. We give examples. We give things to take home so you can do later on your own time. I tend to, weave in a personal experience here or there, but we are not getting in the weeds. We are not getting technical. Actually, before we even get into today's to-dos about world building, I want to preface that if you do want to get into the weeds of world building, especially like the essentials that you'll need, I have already written an article about the essentials of world building that you can find on Storyteller Planet. So if you just want to sink your teeth into that, you can go to the Guild Hall, click what's new, and then go to the latest articles, and it's one of the first articles that you'll see up there, I believe. But getting back to this, if you are into grammar, I highly suggest, studying everything that Grammarly has to teach. I will not be touching on grammar here or the specifics of how to write. What we will be talking about, though, is the world building essentials, like condensed edition, because we are going to focus on the basic points that are necessary, and then we're going to go make a map. Because though I have zero affiliation to Inkarnate and I pay my $5 a month, just like every other member that pays $5 a month, I just love it. I love it so much. So I thought it would be fun, especially because, in the summertime, we don't want to get bogged down in the weeds. I know the last couple of videos we've been talking about a lot of technical nuances of writing, and this is more of the fun side. So, what is world building? In the most summarized version, it is the finer details of your fictional world that you can use while you're writing. It goes from as big as being a part of the Milky Way galaxy to being just one person living in New Jersey, hometown USA. Like, it all depends on what kind of story you're telling. And once you have the idea of that, then you can take it to, well, do the buildings look like this or like this? Do they have mountaintops that snow, or is it always sunny? Like, these are just the finer details that you come up with organically. But let's talk about some of the bigger chunks that will get you to the finer details. Because when you start like getting in the weeds of things, then it becomes overwhelming and then you don't want to do it. So let's start with something simple: the universal rules, the norm of your world. And that can be like 2 sentences worth of the rules. Like, on Earth, here we have gravity. That's a specific weight, and we can't seem to overcome it. But birds can fly, because I'm watching them do it right now. I can't, but the birds can. Like, that is a universal rule. If I want to fly, I got to go hop in a plane, do all the things. And all of those things are normal because that is our society. So when you think about like the bare bones basics of you don't even have to have an outline at this point. You can just have an idea, but in that idea, it's like, okay, well, what is the normal for this character or this world if you don't have a main character yet? And then you can start branching out. Well, where are we? Like, are we on Earth? Are we in some magical planet that's name is Shmoo? We're on planet Shmoo. And this planet has a lighter gravity than Earth, so people can fly. Or they have powers that can make them fly. But knowing where you are will give you an idea of, okay, how much can I bend reality, so to speak? Because we have the things that we know exist in this world. And if we break them, every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Depending on where you live on Earth, some people have snowy mountains, some people have dry desert mountains, some people have no mountains. So understanding that about where your character lives will be able to give you an idea of like, okay, well, do I want all the four seasons? Or do I just want it to be one climate? Because look, nothing is better. Shout out to all my Miami natives, because nothing is better than having full on summer all year long. Or for people that really like the cold, all winter all year long. I have personally loved to grow the four seasons, so I try to incorporate it in there, but nothing is a better cop out than having like, you live on an island, tropical paradise, never snows, never have to deal with seasons. It's always sunny every day. You can kind of predict that climate. So moving on from that, you have the societal details. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, there's a reason why my ninth grade social studies teacher, whatever the class was formerly called, I think it was world civics or world studies, whatever it was called, she probably wanted to kill me because I would have killed in this class now. But back then I didn't have the capacity for world knowledge and world societal structures, and everyone, eventually disintegrating into dust because all these empires are essentially gone in history. But it is helpful for you. If you are into history like that, definitely dive deep into, you can just do like your local area. Like what are the hierarchies of your government? What are the hierarchies of your place that you live in? Like if it's not a state, then like that country or that continent, like depending how big you want to take it. And see if that inspires you or what makes you angry and what you want to change for fiction. But you don't have to get like in the weeds. Like most people say, oh yeah, there's a king and a queen, and then there's the high class, middle class, low class. If you want to do that, that's cool. It's just knowing that and knowing where your character falls in that. Because if your character is from royalty and they're hiding in the slums, it's going to be a very different story than if they're just born in the slums and end up turning into royalty. Then we have resources and trade details, which also sounds like meh, but hear me out. My brother introduced me to Catan, or Catan, depending on who introduced it to you. I was introduced to it in Puerto Rico. I'm gonna call it Catan. This game is intense because it makes you think about the resources that you have to trade and the resources that are at your disposal. So what do I mean by that, to make it simple without going into the weeds? If I have an endless supply of wood, but I only have one brick, and someone's like, does anyone have a brick to trade? If I only have one brick, I better be getting something really good for that one brick. Or I'm just going to hold on to my one brick because I need it to build something else. And that really shook me in like a writing perspective, specifically because you don't know what your character might need other than money to get through what they need. Like they need to eat, they need to drink potions if it's a magical world, and they need to heal. Like they need to re-up their strength. There are so many options that you can choose about what resources your character needs that are essential and what they need to get that. So that's the whole point of that with the resources and trade. And then your character's world. So you take everything that we just talked about. And how the heck does this fit into your character's life? I always love when people talk about like the hero's journey, because the first like one or two sections of that is like, this is Joe Schmo. And Joe Schmo lived this life. And these are all the details of said life. And then, bam, something happened to disrupt that life. That's how most stories start anyway. So you might as well start with envisioning what your character does on the daily. It doesn't have to be like, every day for a year, but every day for like 3 days, because most stories like last like 3 days. So what is your character's normal 3 day routine? Is it the same thing every single day? Is there like, okay, one day I have to do this, and one day I really hate doing this, but on this day I really get to see this person? You have to think about, those little dynamics, and they add color to your world, just like how the bees are adding color to mine. So with all of these details, because that was a lot of things. I don't know why the bumblebees are running into the house, but they are. You have to ask, out of all these things, what is the most important? What is the least important to the story that you are ultimately trying to tell? The story that involves your main character and the initial idea that you're stringing into an outline. If you are someone who doesn't like outlines, however you process to get to the end of your story, you just need to think about the essentials. And then from the essentials, branch out. Because when you start getting really deep into like, what is my character's favorite color? That's cool. But if it never comes up, like, it's a great exercise, don't get me wrong, but if you do it for every character, then you're just wasting your fucking time. Sorry, not sorry. It's really good to understand, like, yes, everyone's favorite color is blah, 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 and then you incorporate it in their outfit. That is not a waste of time. That is attention to detail. Because now you have a character that has a distinct color and a distinct character. But if you're just saying, what is my character's favorite color, for some trivia that you may or may not do down the line, and it is never brought up in your story, that's when you're wasting your time. So, before you write, go off into the ether to try to figure out all the details of your world, I personally find it fun to play around with Inkarnate's map maker. And I'm setting a timer for 15 minutes because while I have made maps in the past, these took hours and sometimes days because I would come back and tweak. But hours at bare bones minimum. We don't have hours. We have 15 minutes. I want to see what we can do in 15 minutes. And these are the details of what I'm going to focus on and lock in on so we don't get lost in the weeds. And I will set a timer. And then I will show you basically the tools without showing you the tools, because this is by no means a tutorial about Inkarnate. This is just to show you that this is one of many tools that exist in our beautiful tech world. And it's free, technically. I pay $5 for it because I like having all the options available. But if you're just like messing around and you're just using it for your own whatever, just use a free one. So we're making the map of Brea. I don't know how well this is gonna go because it is mostly water with one mainland and smaller islands surrounding it. And the underwater castles' tops can be seen above the water. And we are going to work with what is already in the system. I'm not importing anything spectacular into Inkarnate. You can. I'm not. So I'm going to wake this mouse up because I've been using the touchpad this whole time. And we're going to go into Inkarnate. It said welcome back because I've already been here. But I tried to make it like, this is the, see, start for free. Allow all the things because, they got the information anyway. But we are going to log in because I already have an account. Log into my stuff. Log into my things. Please. And as it ponders with life's greater mysteries, oh dear Neptune. I was like, please just go in. Thank you. So these are all the maps I've made. They keep them all nice and tidy for you. Notice there's duplicates because you can do that. We're going to go into a new map. And they have all these options. And you can go from small to large. Ooh, watercolors, parchment, I feel like I just choose this one all the time. So we're probably just going to go with that one, unless it's regional. Huh. Fantasy World. What's that? I haven't set the timer yet, guys. This doesn't count. Oh, so this is like if you want to do like all the stuff. Okay, well, I'm just going to choose this style because this is what I've been using. And we're going to do landscape because that's what I've been using. And I do medium 2K because if you start doing higher resolutions and stuff, then things start getting slow. Nothing pisses me off more than lag. So, here's this. These are all the tools. So we have to paint the ocean. So this is the texture. We don't want this. We want water. Now this is dirt. Please hold. Snow and ice. See, it's nicely labeled. Waves, water. So we're going to start with the outer layers of water. Are you so slow? So peaceful, but you're so freaking slow. It's making me concerned. We're going to make the brush size bigger. Okay. Remember what I said about lag? Okay, so you're basically painting what you want this world to look like. Now, what if you must be thinking, well, what if I want to erase this? Well, you could just go back and undo, which I'm not doing. Or you can just draw something on top, which I'll show you once I'm done coloring all this. Oh, I didn't start the timer. Ha ha ha. Almost tricked me. Almost got me. All right, time starts now. 15 minutes. What can we build? With our laggy mouse. It's okay. It's fine. We're living. So I'm trying to make like one piece of land with the deeper parts of ocean. Ding, 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 ding. Okay. And you can sculpt it. You know, I like that little boop. It's giving boopness. Okay. And then we're gonna come here and we're gonna look for Fey water. What is this? This looks more like, yes, layers. Dee, 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 dee. And I know this is very simple. I'm just drawing a circle around whatever I just drew, and then I'm gonna draw lighter waters because you need levels, guys. You can't just have, oh, that's way too bright. That looks like I don't know what we're doing and where we're going. I need, como si. There we go. Ding, da, ding, ding, da, ding, 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 ding. This is the water where you can swim. Because for someone who lived in the Caribbean slash Miami, whatever you want to call that. Oh, my boop went away. That's okay. Foreground. It's the land. Yeah, you need levels to your water. You can't, not the sand. You need land. Dirt. Rough dirt with rocks. Okay, well, none of these are what I need. Oh, bushes. Maybe. A rice field. See, this is where you get, oh, there it is. Grass. I just want grass. Grass. Thank you. Look at that. Grass. Wah. I guess maybe the background. Grass. Perhaps. I don't know. I feel like I need to make land. I don't think I've made land yet. We're going to pretend this is where we're going to put the land. So what is this? This is probably the tool for land. What are you? Create my land masses. See? Look, there you go. I knew it. Land. And it gives you that organic, like, I'm land kind of look, not like what I was doing. Oh. You know, actually, I should have left it with a circle in the middle. That's a better circle, actually. Or is it? I'm doing all my hard work. You know what? I'm gonna leave it like that, and then I'm gonna have an island in the middle. A booyah. If it's drawing anything. There we go. Okay. I feel better about this for some reason. And then we're gonna subtract, and we're gonna make this brush. Oh, good. It already did it. We're gonna make a waterway, and then another waterway. And this one's gonna be fancy. It's gonna have two. We're gonna have one that goes like this. And then one that goes like this. Because you need to have variety, guys. You can't just have the same fucking shit all the time. And then I'll make this one smaller, because we can do that. Yeah, and it's a little dangerous. It's a little crickety. Sure. Okay. And that's the show. So this is why this wasn't working, because there was no foreground. Oh, it's funny. Okay, so now that we have done that, we need the sand for the edges, because the beach and all that. Sand. But maybe like not this brush size. Oh, maybe not that brush size either. Hot damn. So notice over here in the corner, you can make it like a circle edge or a not so fancy edge. We're going to use the not so fancy edge because why? Why would we want it to be bland? So sand. And if you want to make a cliff, there's probably a better way to make a cliff. But what I'm doing right now is I'm just making all the parts that have sand. This one goes all the way around. Well, if I could actually like put it on the thing. I'm making the brush size bigger. And you can see how this takes hours. Because you start getting nitpicky with it. Make this little part here be a beach. And then this little part here a beach. This whole thing should be a beach, actually. I should have put music. No, then it would have distracted me. And then copyright would have came for me. All right. So something that is bothering me is that the background of this needs to be water. So I used this one. And we're gonna make it water. Because all this should be water, because remember I said this place is mostly water. So technically you don't have to erase, you can just color on top of it. But notice that I'm doing the background, so if I were to go like this, it's technically coloring whatever's below that. It's not coloring what I'm coloring. So all these are waterways. Okay, almost done. How much time do I have left? Spent all this time just coloring water and sand. That's all you're gonna get, water and sand. Okay. So we got our base, and now we need stuff on it. Okay, what the heck is that? Oh, it's something. Open the catalog. Tell me what this is. It's a bush. It's a cliff. Okay, so here's the cliff, the cave, Obsidian platform, cliffs. Okay, so we'll start with the cliffs, because I got a cliffside for you. Okay, first of all, yeah, shrink that. Hello. And we gotta turn this one. Oh my gosh. The cliffs. I like how, because they're ridgy, they can formulate a better, like, cohesion, I guess. Um, I don't really know where else I want to put a cliff. I don't even know a cliff. Um, I guess over here. Over here would be cool. I'm not trying to make too many because cliffs always lead to someone falling off said cliff. And, I'm not in the mood to have people with leverage to delete themselves, especially in this crazy world. Did I put this upside down? Oh no. Okay. It's a cliff. Don't jump off it. I guess this looks cliffy. And then wacky. You going wacky? Well, now this doesn't look right. Okay, so if you want to stop making all the cliffs, because notice they give you variety as you're doing it. Just move this over. Chin. Okay. Cliff, cliff. I feel like another cliff should be here, but I only have 15 minutes, and I have 5 minutes left. See how long it takes to just put the ground? So, what else can we do in 5 minutes? Not to get all like crazy. But there's trees somewhere in here, so we're gonna put trees and search for trees. And all the trees pop up. What the heck is this? Apple trees, whatever that says, trees. Ooh, palm trees. Hey, palm trees. Ooh, look at that, we're tropical. If you see a palm tree, you know it's tropical. And oh my gosh, the craziness of the lag. Okay, so every palm tree is a different beach, let's say. Okay. And then we can put maybe a building or something? I don't know. What else we got in here? Light sources, we got some wood. And let's say you don't like any of the stuff that's in here aside from putting your own stuff. You can just change whatever the art is. This is normally the stuff that I use. But I want it to be different. I wanted to see what it was like, because this is like an aerial over top view, whereas the regional stuff gives you like a lot of smaller things to play with. Can make it ginormous though. I am gonna put a little world tree in the middle, because why not? Or maybe a very large world tree. Because why not? So the little palm tree I put back there is kind of unimportant. Oh, not that. And then if you want to delete something, you just delete it. What else can we do? The time's gonna run out. Oh, it's still under trees. That's why. I'm like, where are the buildings? I'll throw it on cliffs. Oh wait, what was in here? For just normal stuff. All the rocks, snow, ice. Ooh, a waterfall. Say less. I love waterfalls. Put a waterfall here. So the secret passage is behind the waterfall. Dun, 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 dun. But then there's also a waterfall here. Because I can. Oh my gosh, what is happening? See, this is why you don't try to do crazy things. I was about to say, did I make like a bunch of them? So you got one coming through here, and probably another. Oh my gosh. You gotta click it, and then you gotta drag it. All right, there may be one coming from here. This one seems like it's coming from nowhere, so let's just put it like that, and then I'll take this extra one, and we'll put it from also nowhere, I guess, up here, and then I'll make like the hidden falls. Sure. And notice, like, I gave myself the task of this place is mostly water and kind of ran with it from there. There were no other, like, obviously, I have ideas about this world, but they're not fleshed out. There's no outline. This is just me going in there and seeing what I can do for 15 minutes, which I feel like it's about to end. But let's put one more thing on there. I don't know exactly what. Oh my gosh, not that. No more waterfalls, please. Um, let's put, wow, there's a lot of fauna in here. I just want like a building or something. Ooh, look, a bridge. Let's put a wooden bridge. So this, oh wow, this bridge is very large and in charge. So let's calm that down and twist it. So these two places you can get to by bridge. How cool is that? And these two places you can also get to by bridge. Because why not? I feel like it's been way past 5 minutes, but nothing is wrong. And then we're going to choose a different bridge, a little rickety, see? Rickety sewer planks. No, rickety sewer bridge, rickety bridge to go from here to here. Bam. See, I knew it was going to happen. Okay. Shush. We're putting our last bridge. Just make it a little smaller. And that officially makes what you can do in 15 minutes. Ta-da! Now how do you export it? You hit export down here. And then depending on whether you have free or not free, you have the options. I'm just going to do 2K so it can export. Save. Oh, that is the other thing. You have to save on here. There is no autosave. I totally forgot to say that. Yeah, there is no autosave at all. So it's saving everything that I have done. It'll often remind you to save, but I was so in it that I didn't even notice. And you could share it or share the link to the map. Also down here, not the annotate, but down here is where you save your changes. That's probably why I didn't see it. It's like all the way at the corner. But yeah, so that's how you make a map. And your take-home exercise is to take one of your ideas and make a map in 30 minutes or less. You saw how much I could do in 15 minutes or less, and that was me just making the land, the water, the cliffs. Like, we didn't really get into, okay, where do the locals live? Where do the higher ups live? And all that stuff. Because those kind of questions come about as you're making the map. So have fun with it. There are some tools in there that I didn't even touch. Notice I just kind of used like 2 things out of everything on that space. So play around with it and understand that there is a learning curve. So be kind to yourself. I was only able to kind of go through that and make a map because I, as you saw, have been making a lot of maps for the last year. And that is by no means a professional map. Like, that is just a map. One way to make one so you can see what your world is and you can write or draw or whatever else you need to do. So to wrap it up, aside from the link for the Essentials of World Building that I have on YouTube in the description, I also would love for you guys to figure out which storyteller you are. It's a new part of our website because it's not just about writing. Yes, writing is a big part of it, but storytelling is ancient before a cohesive written language was, established, and it has to do with art and podcasting and blogs and people that use all of the above to make their stories. It is more than just writing. So please, I encourage you to decipher which storyteller you are. Also, if you see a duck, feel free to click on it because there is a scavenger hunt going on. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, the scavenger hunt, you just go, well, actually, you technically could just, from the home page itself, you can go right here and click this duck, and it will take you to the Storyteller Planet Summer that we have cooking. This is our schedule, and all the fun things that we have, as well as the scripts. But you have to log in order to get the scripts. You don't have to be a support squad member. You just have to have a free membership. So there's that. This is also where all of the Tale and Tidbit comics are for the last couple of rounds, just because it is a part of our celebration. They kind of went back in time. So also our Summer Pride is well underway with our Divine comics. But if you just want to know what's new, you go to What's New under Guildhall. And this is our newsletter that basically catches you up on everything that you have missed. And it summarizes every month. And then we have our mid-month check-in. So yeah, that is all I have for you guys today. I'm going to stop sharing my screen and probably go inside and cool off because it is very hot. And I hope you guys are enjoying your summer. And I will see you next month. Happy world building. Bye.